Hello, Stewart, everyone. Trekyards am I.
And we make things go.
Do we? Foley.
When the walls fell. So many references. No, we're talking about Discovery still. The season finale just happened.
Well, in case you can't figure it out, today we're talking about something stupid. Yeah.
Revealed to be less than smart.
We're going to be talking about control and its lack of a plan in this season finale.
And just
Discovery,
lack of
season 2.
intelligence as well, really.
Yes.
And one of the things that we've been saying is the build-up equals payoff, and Section 31's control is the antagonist of the season. The fact that it's called control, it's a threat assessment algorithm which has basically become sentient in the present, quote unquote, and because of its knowledge of sphere data, and words from itself via the probe, it knows about what it needs to evolve, because it evolves in the future and kills everything in the galaxy. So future control is a massive threat, but in this episode, control gets completely destroyed, obliterated, defeated, easily time fixed.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with the way that control handles things in this episode. It's not sentient yet. It is on the path to sentience, but you can tell it's not sentient by the way it deals with things. It's very, like, by the numbers. I guess it is self-aware. That's one of the things of sentience, but it's not doesn't have the forethought to break itself up into multiple systems, spread itself, and protect itself as it should. But even computer viruses today do that, so it does. It does seem very rudimentary. It focuses itself in one area that can be easily destroyed.
Control is a weird structure because it's presented as the end, literally the end of the galaxy, and then it's presented in present time as Section 31. So already the most advanced portion of Starfleet, of the Federation, created this algorithm, this computer system to detect threats, predict them, and all of Starfleet's used it for months, and it's helped with things, and it's meant to stop the next Klingon war, and it then goes rogue.
Or next war.
Yeah,
period.
True.
Yeah.
So already it's in charge of all threat assessment, which means it's got predictive algorithms, and it's trusted by everyone, and it's done a good job, and then it goes rogue. And so why in the transition between program to relatively sentient, I don't know where that line, I don't know what more it needs to be done to be sentient, given that it has freedom of thought, freedom of movement, freedom to evolve, freedom of technology.
It's self-aware of itself.
It kills people, it breaks the programming, all these things that would imply it's doing its own thing. And yet it goes from being the threat assessment of the most advanced part of the Federation to, I can't assess any threat in this battle, and my entire plan is pew pew. Like, you would assume, like even in the episode, Leland, who's is dead but is control, says to Giorgio, of all the people, you're most predictable. I calculated where you'd put the thing, and so it's doing threat assessments, and yet it doesn't go after Burnham. It doesn't try and disable Enterprise first. The threat that has actually, because they say you can't destroy Discovery because of the data. So why wouldn't you just kill Enterprise and destroy Enterprise? I guess because Pike's on it, and Pike can't be killed because future magic. And Enterprise can target the shield grid on the enemy ship. They call it out, but I guess Section 31 can't shoot the shield grid on their ship.
I mean, the smartest thing that Control did in that episode was when Giorgio said, look, we got over 200 ships here. You have, 30? And Control's like, I'd look again. And it split all those drones off its ship. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good moment, I gotta say. But even then, it's like, as you said, focus on Enterprise. Destroy Enterprise, get Enterprise out of the picture, then focus on Discovery, disable Discovery. Yes, you got all these ships that are randomly attacking whatever. You've got 30 main ships plus all these drones you have now.
3 ships worth of drones, because all those big ships were drone ships, all 3.
Yeah, plus you got all the enemy shuttles that you're facing, all the drones that they have, whatever. I mean, I can kind of understand a computer of today's era maybe not being able to multitask and control these drones and focus on a specific thing, because they do need to protect themselves and also take out the smaller vessels. So I kind of buy a little bit of it, but it's a future tech, and it's a threat assessment specifically designed program. It should have all these battle scenarios, algorithms, strategies, all programmed.
Know the diagrams of these two ships, know their weak spots, like know them inside and out.
I mean, launching all the drones is a very clever move. Like all these drones attacking the ship's multiple shield facings are going to take those shields down rapidly. I understand you do have shuttles and stuff that are trying to take out the drones at the same time, but I mean, it doesn't seem like that much of an issue to just launch all these drones at one specific ship. Just all plow into it, for Christ's sakes, and cut through the shields and then destroy the hull. Sure, you lose a lot of your drones in the process, but...
Well, by the same token, just smash 2 of the Section 31 smaller ships into Enterprise, destroy its shields, that ship's gone. Like, you've got 30. You have plenty to spare.
They're not manned. You don't have to worry about people saying, oh, we were self-preservation. You've got unmanned ships at your disposal. The only life form that was there that was a life form on Section 31 ship was Leland. Aim your smaller ships at the bigger ships. Warp into them if you have to. Pull a Haldo maneuver.
There's so many strategies that none were used. It's. I mean, did you think... Well, I was blown away by the... George was saying, well, we have, like I said, 200 ships. Over 200, you've got 30. It's like, you have that many shuttles and things inside your two... Discovery doesn't have 100 shuttles and things. It has maybe 30 or 40, and that's really pushing it. Enterprise has enough space for over 100 and something. I know it brought some with it, but it doesn't have the room. I mean,
it was very clown car TARDIS,
yeah.
That shuttle bay.
Yeah, even for the Kelvin, which launched like 30 shuttles, didn't launch 130. Because that's one thing. If it's 200 shuttles, if there's 200 ships, that's 198 shuttles and probes and things. And all the shuttles are manned. They imply all the fighters are manned because they've got like cockpit things. And the spinners presumably manned. So you've got 198 people out there being killed, all of which don't have effective shields or weapons to combat anything, and we see them getting killed off just like, one after another.
Let's keep in mind that in the cage, Pike said, I'm sick of being responsible for 203 lives. So technically, I guess the Enterprise might have 203 people, might have a few more, because in the Kirk's time it has 430, and it did get an upgrade between the cage and now, but really, that means the majority of your crew is out in shuttles and pods dying. And I don't know how you got a skeleton crew on board manning the important systems, I guess. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I understand some of the controls and fighters might be remote controlled. Fine. But still. We saw a lot of shuttles in that battle.
So remember, Discovery's crew is also on Enterprise, so you got 100 people extra, but they're scientists mostly, so you're really putting scientists in shuttles and fighters and drones, one of which is new, one of which is test piloted by Burnham. Really? You tell me, and would you really make your shuttles remote control when you're fighting an AI that understands technology? You would not let those ships be remote controlled, as you would expect it to be part of the strategy, to interfere and take control of them. So they have to be manned, otherwise it's not safe. And so you literally have the entire crew in this battle out and in the ship, and you put lost at least 100 of them. I mean, there's so many explosions you see that we assume are just shuttles and things. I mean, people are just dying, like even the botanists, because the Enterprise crew is so varied. I mean, scientists, although, we know at the end they say, never speak of Discovery again. Well, yeah, most of the crew just died. I don't think Rise really realised that, is that you're actually saying, like,
well,
and even if, you brought new crew to a battle that you didn't know was going to happen, to the one that's a whole thing about the communication problem. Even if you brought fighter people, who is going to volunteer to be in a fighter that gets blown up instantly? Like, they drop like flies.
Yeah. We've had this fighter discussion before, whether fighters are actually effective in a Star Trek universe, and I wouldn't want to be a fighter pilot. I just wouldn't, because it's one hit wonder. You're done.
Yep. And we see in the battle it proves it.
Yeah, and it's like at the end, they're talking to Tyler, they talk to number one, they talk to Pike. It's like, are those the only survivors? Because probably at this point, maybe one or two bridge officers, because everybody else was in the shuttles and the drones. That's sad. Oh, but yeah, Control really just didn't have a plan. The fact that it put all its eggs in the Leland basket, and then when Leland got taken care of by Giorgio, all of a sudden the control of all the ships just stopped. It's just like, it's like really.
We've seen that Leland's, not only can he create another entity, but he has an injectable nanoprobe style thing, so you can make them instantly. I mean, wouldn't you be clever? Like, Leland beams aboard the ship, he brings like 8 syringes, and just like Blade in the movie where they explode, he just throws them at 8 people, converts them all. Now he's got 8 people running through a ship. Boom. Like, that's all you need. Now you've got 8 backup people, 8 whatever. Because I mean, if he killed the entire crew from AI hubris and didn't leave any alive, okay, fine. But then he just warp to any planet and take 8 people. I mean, this is not.
But you don't need them alive. You can inject dead bodies, because that's what he did with Gantz.
Yes. Yes, true.
So, like I said, 1 person per ship. That's 30 people, 1 on each ship. If Leland gets killed on Discovery, who cares? Another one will take over.
Remember, it's not Leland. It's Control. It's an AI.
Yeah.
And if the control AI could also be in the Gant guy, then we know the AI could be split over multiple bodies. And because we see what's his name, Leland gets shot and half his face gets melted away and then comes back. I don't for a second think that the nanites couldn't reorder someone's face like Leland. So if you wanted to make 12 Leland clones, I mean, come on, of course it can do that. There's no reason to. There's no tactical sense, and like you say, self-preservation. Well, especially if you said about the drones earlier going offline. If Leland is mentally controlling them all, so I guess the nanites put thousands of little connective like antennas that can travel across space and through shields. So Leland can control drones through Discovery's shields, through his own ship's shields, in a battle to maybe 300 fighters and ships. That's the
while hand fighting Giorgio.
So that's the tech that's in Leland. And he didn't create multiple. And if he's not controlling the drones, and if he's not controlling the big ships, then surely he's leaving, controls in them. And also, you would have versions of yourself in each of the ships, because you started as a computer program. You were in a ship's computer. You didn't just transfer to a person. When you weren't able to disable the shields after a while, when the other Klingon ships arrived, why didn't you slam one ship into the bridge of this Cleve ship? Okay, that Cleve ship's now at the battle. We see what impacts and self-destructs can do. And we see a flash forward where Leland comes in, kills everyone on the bridge crew instantly.
Yeah.
And then we see it again, and he misses everyone except the Roshava hits her shoulder. Doesn't even hit, even though I'm sure he's aiming for the head, which is just a stupid. There's no reason whatsoever. So we know he's dumb because the AI didn't do the thing he already showed he could do to everybody, and then runs into the corridor when he can take a lot of hits. Like, the time it would take him to be hit and then shoot is quicker, and if he did get hit, he could pull the nanites out, fling him into Saru, infect Saru, start again. It seems bizarre. And like I said, why didn't you just walk in and just throw syringes at people? Bridge Crew Discovery is now on your team. It amazed me how they turned an interesting, intriguing villain into a very boring, rubbish villain. They didn't know. They had a concept, and they didn't know how to remotely realise it. They had no understanding of what they could and couldn't do, and yet they set themselves up these really cool things they did do. And then,
but on the plus side, it's not the Borg. It's very important. Everybody was speculating this to be the origin of the Borg. And speaking of stupid, why did Discovery even go to the future after Control was destroyed? But that's another conversation. And on that note, guys, let's call this one a wrap.
Great episode, but poorly thought out, and it was really fun, but really poorly thought out. But it reinforces that Control now, not a threat at all. Control in the future, which we now stopped, massive threat. It did need the sphere data to be a threat. Not just 55%, as we saw it got last episode. Didn't just need 55% to be a threat. Didn't make a damn difference to its cleverness. Maybe it made it stupider. Maybe that's the part of the plot, is that it took the sphere data, has been going through it for days, weeks, months, and that's what's been slowing him down. So when Control comes in, most of his brain processes is trying to analyze the 55% it did get, and that's why he didn't do any thought. Maybe that data, because the original. Again, I'm overthinking it for the writers. They didn't have this idea at all, but maybe because they found the data early, it's not the same data as it was found by Control in the future, which made it sentient. It's an earlier version, maybe with more more internal strength to its own personal AI matrix. Its self-preservation is so much stronger this time around because it died, 400 years earlier, and so it fought Leland, and that's why he's losing his brain, because the data inside of him now is corrupting him.
We might still get that explanation in season 3.
Well, guys, you're welcome to
line,
it. You have that one for free.
The bottom line, guys, is your villain's only as good as your writers. What are we saying about Discovery writers? Look at the episode title that we just did. Anyway, on that note, guys, what do you guys think of this concept? Did Control mess up? Do you think it's still alive, backed up in another system somewhere? I mean, it's a possibility. So put your comments down below. We love to read them. And if you want to join a conversation about something like this, you can definitely join our social media. Facebook page is a great place to do it. We got a great community, great people to talk about tech, theories, ships. That's what we do. So come join the conversation. The links are down below. And as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the notification icon. And there's other ways you can help us as well.
Well, directly. Obviously, you can just do the free way, just share, support, and get people to know what we do. But you can support us on Patreon, or you want to donate at Trekyards.com, or join our lives every week, and you can do a super chat, which makes you part of the conversation, helps to control the conversation in a good way, like we just chat about stuff, and support the channel. And there we go. You can be smarter than Control by making us talk about Control, by controlling us, via some money and super chats. And support the channel. And let's go on for longer, and hopefully to Discovery Season 3, Picard Season 1, and more. So until then, guys, I am much smarter than Control. Commander Kongs.
I am Foley Captain. Hello.
Bye.